Hello, everybody. What a great story we have going on, right? Captain America is back, but the Avengers are missing, and in their place are stone statues. And so Captain America and Rick Jones are hunting the city, looking for a man with sunglasses and dark hair and a mysterious ray gun. Are you caught up? Are you ready to go? Let's do it. Here's Captain America searching the city, glad to be back in his costume and back to action. And look, there's the fella he's looking for. He's peeking in at the window. It's him, the one we're after. And he crashes in through the window without a moment's hesitation. 200 pounds of fighting fury crash through the shattering window. But in his eagerness, the attacking crime fighter has failed to notice the gunmen in the adjoining room, gunmen who hear the crash and race to the scene, their weapons thundering. Get that costume clown, whoever he is. It'll be a cinch. Ha! Not a cinch when it's Captain America. There's always the chance you may get me, says Captain America, but a cinch, never. And look, he tossed his shield. The bad guys say he sliced our guns in two with that shield of his. Who is he, anyway? Who is he? I've been many things, but I've come to prefer the name Captain America. I should have known, says one of the bad guys. I read about him when I was a kid. He must be a phony. He's too young to be the real Captain America. Well, evidently not, because only the real Captain America can do what this guy is doing, fighting all of them at once. One fellow says, "Ow! There's no stopping him. He's like a whirlwind. Oof! If he's a phony, I'm Little Red Riding Hood. No one can pay us enough to fight him. Knock it off, masked man. We give up." And so look at all those guys, and they give up in the face of one Captain America. And that leaves you, fella. You've got the key to the disappearance of the Avengers. And so he turns his attention to the fella with the ray gun. He says, "You'll never learn the secret," but then he thinks, it's uncanny. He moves so fast, my ray can't strike him. That gun you used came from someplace other than Earth, and so I suspect did you. Now talk while you still can. And so Captain America knocks away the gun, and he reaches out to grab this mystery person. Oh no! The mystery person is an alien from outer space. He says, "Very well, I see that further resistance is useless. After you've heard my story, you may feel pity for me instead of that raw hatred which I see mirrored in your eyes." Captain America realizes, I was right, you're not human. Certainly he's not. He's green with bushy hair. He looks like a stalk of asparagus. Maybe he's the asparagus man. Probably not. Well, the bad guys' gunmen say, "Holy cow, look what we've been working for. Let me out of here. I've had it. Me for the straight and narrow from now on." Well, I wonder how long that will last. So, Captain America grabs the man by his collar and he says, "Now I'll tell you what I think. Those aren't statues of the Avengers. They are the Avengers themselves, turned into stone by you when you used your ray on them while posing as a newspaper photographer. Admit it." "Yes, yes, you're right," says the alien. "Unhand me. I cannot bear physical contact with primitive beings." That's what he thinks of us. He thinks we're primitive beings. Well, la-ti-da. "I come from a far distant galaxy. My name would be meaningless to you, as Earth tongues cannot even pronounce it. But look, he's spiraling down in his rocket toward Earth. Centuries ago, due to engine failure, my spaceship crashed on Earth, embedding itself deep into the bottom of the sea. Look. And so here's the spaceman escaping up to the surface. I meant Earthlings no harm. I roamed your planet, seeking someone to help me free my ship. But those I saw feared me and attacked me. In self-defense, I used my ray gun on them, turning them to stone for 100 of your Earth hours. So the effects are not permanent. That's good to know. So look, these folks look like they live in ancient Greece. And one of them, with this beautiful helmet on his head, says, "Behold, it is a monster from the netherworld. It must be slain." But the alien says, "No, I need help. Stay back. Please, don't make me do this." No, but he shoots off his ray gun, and one realizes it is bewitched. One look at it turns men to stone. And so one of these men have been turned to stone. Captain America realizes, "Your hair in the dark, you must have looked like a woman to them, and turning men to stone. That must be the origin of the legend of Medusa." Medusa is a character in ancient mythology, a woman with a hair like snake, and her mere glance can turn someone into stone. "But," asks Captain America, "why did you use your power on the Avengers?" And he answers, "Because of the one who calls himself Submariner." Submariner is part of this story. He found my ship some days ago. He told me he would free my ship from the ocean's depths if I would turn the Avengers to stone. I had to do it. Submariner. I seem to remember that name from the dim past, but time enough for him later. First, you must bring the Avengers back to life, and we will free your ship for you. "If only you mean it," says the alien. "If only I can believe you." "Captain America does not lie," says our hero. "Let's go." So he snatches the alien by the arm, and they rush off. Within minutes, the swashbuckling adventurer brings the defeated alien to a warehouse where the statues have been stored. Then, facing the motionless figures, he directs his ray at them again, after first reversing the polarity. So he puts the ray machine in reverse, and Captain America realizes it's working. They're turning to normal. And so look, we see the Wasp, Iron Man, Thor, and Giant Man all turning back to normal, and Rick Jones looks on. Meanwhile, far beneath the surface of the sea, in his now deserted imperial castle, a furious, frustrated Prince Namor observes the scene above through his undersea scanner. "My plan has failed. The one who calls himself Captain America has robbed me of my victory. But this will teach me a lesson. Whatever the Submariner must do, he must do alone. I am still the most powerful mutant on Earth, half human, half sea creature. My brain is agile, my energy inexhaustible. I must keep striking until the Avengers are destroyed." And then a fickle fate seems to smile at Namor as he sees, "Look, a troop of my elite guard. They have not deserted me. They are still searching for me. They see me. They are turning. They bow in loyal acknowledgement of my imperial presence. And now Prince Namor is no longer alone." The next day, the nervous alien leads the Avengers to a remote, deserted isle, and then he points. He says, "It is there. directly beneath this spot where my ship is hopelessly buried at the bottom of the sea. Iron Man says, nothing is hopeless to the Avengers, pal. We'll free it for you somehow. And there's Giant Man with his underwater gear on. He says, I found it 100 feet below. Only the tail section is protruding. Minutes later, a Giant Man is trying to pull it up. He says, my muscles are twice normal size, Cap, but I can't budge it. We've got a job on our hands. And Captain America says, Thor asked me to position this waterproof closed-circuit TV camera over the hull. I'll release a buoy to hold it in place. Okay, so they got Giant Man and Captain America down dealing with the submerged spaceship. The camera in position, the Avengers spend the rest of the afternoon building a secure platform for the Thunder God to stand on. Okay, Thor, this wraps it up. What's the next move? Well done, says Thor. Now stand back, my friends. A power greater than any of you have ever witnessed is about to be unleashed upon this spot. And now, as Thor looks at the device, which shows him the exact location of the spaceship, and holding his powerful hammer in his hand, sighting upon the entrapped spaceship through his TV viewer, the mighty Thor slowly rotates his enchanted hammer over the hull, directing an irresistible torrent of cosmic magnetic waves toward the alien craft. Steadily, with ever-increasing force, they pull at the heavy object without let-up, without ever slackening until, whoom! Thor's mighty hammer, with its magnetic power, pulls the spacecraft free of the ocean floor. It worked, says Iron Man. You freed the ship, Thor. Thor says, why do you sound surprised? Was that not my intention? Well, yeah. And the spaceman says, you kept your word. Now I can repair my ship in minutes and depart from this wretched planet. Now that it's floating free, the water makes it almost weightless. Leave it here, says the alien. I'll make my repairs underwater, safe from any prying eyes. Suit yourself, mister, says Giant Man. As long as you hit the road, we don't care how you do it. And that's that, says Giant Man. I wonder what the AAA, the AAA automobile service, would have said if the alien had called them for emergency repairs. You know, Giant Man, says Captain America, I like your style. You Avengers make a great team. In fact, I was wondering... Well, what do you think Captain America is wondering? Oh no! He's interrupted. Captain America's sentence is cut short by a thunderous explosion, which rocks the little island at that split second and tosses Giant Man and Captain America. And when the startled Avengers recover their equilibrium, they're amazed to see Namor, says Iron Man, and a squad of undersea warriors. Submariner says, you see before you the accursed enemy, my brave followers. Attack, fight shoulder to shoulder with your prince. And so Submariner, out of nowhere, attacks the Avengers with his undersea troops. And though the first onslaught is unexpected and devastating, the Avengers' battle-trained reflexes are equal to the challenge. And so one undersea soldier fights off a ray gun, but Iron Man dodges it easily with his jets. He says, you'll have to do better than that, laughing boy. Doesn't look like he's laughing. You'll get your wish, Iron Man. Namor will do better. Your iron armory cannot save you from the sea monarch's attack. Iron Man realizes I'll have to act fast. His fists are like living sledgehammers. My armor can't take it much longer. Quickly pressing a concealed stud on his control panel, Iron Man unleashes the full force of his transistor-powered magnetic repulsor. And look, he sends Namor spinning backwards. He says, now I've got to hope I can think of something fast. At full intensity, my magnetic ray will only last another few seconds. And no sooner do the miniaturized transistors lose their power than the enraged Namor catches onto a nearby boulder. And he says, fool, you have exhausted your greatest weapon, while I am stronger than ever. While my loyal warriors prevent the others from coming to your aid, I'll give you a small demonstration of my imperial might. And Iron Man realizes he smashed that huge boulder like an eggshell. The flying chunks are hitting me. Oh no. Iron Man is being beaten back by those splinters from the boulder. And then Namor attacks again. He says, I'll destroy the Avengers one at a time. It will afford me far greater satisfaction this way. Iron Man says, I've got to hold out just a few minutes longer. Soon my transistors will build up their peak power again, and then I'll make this arrogant fishman change his tune. Meantime, the Wasp observes Iron Man's desperate plight, and she realizes Namor is merciless. I've got to help. Perhaps if I take a capsule and become wasp-sized. And so Submariner wrestles Iron Man to the ground. He says, you fight valiantly for a human, but this is your finish. I'll smash your built-in hand weapons before they can be used against me again. And so his strength is able to smash Iron Man's armor. But at that moment, a small, insistent, dazzling object flies frantically around Namor's head, temporarily blinding the battling sea monarch. What's this? I cannot see. My lord, says one of his warriors, leave the man of iron. Come to our aid, sire. We are sorely besieged. And sure enough, they're besieged by Thor. Dizzy and exhausted, the Wasp flies off as Namor turns from Iron Man and rushes to answer his lieutenant's call for help. It's Thor. He's holding my men at bay with that wretched hammer of his. And as Thor swings around his hammer, he says, show yourself, Namor. I tire of wasting my strength on these lowly minions of yours. I crave a foe more worthy of my mettle. And the lieutenant says, fall back. Wait for the command of our Lord Namor. Quickly, says Namor, before the others reach us, concentrate all your firepower on Thor from this safe distance. Keep him reeling while I attack him with my bare hands. And so Namor has more ray guns aimed at Thor. But he says no mere earthly weapons can make the thunder god reel. See how easily my enchanted hammer deflects their energy bolts into the ground at my feet. Well, that hammer is a handy thing to have around. The energy from our ray guns is traveling back to us along the ground. Disperse. We are no match for Thor. The Submariner must conquer him alone. And so Thor channels the power of those ray guns back to defeat the undersea warriors. And then, with the force and fury of the raging seas, Namor strikes. When you swing that hammer, you're invincible, but I'll see to it that you never swing it again, claims Namor. Witless mutant, says Thor, this is no human you attack. This is the mighty Thor. Meanwhile, what of the third Avenger and Captain America? They had both been hurtled back into the sea by the earth-shattering blast which heralded Namor's attack, And now we find Giant Man at the brink of disaster. Look, he's captured by a net. He thinks, I can't hold my breath much longer. Only one chance. My reducing capsule. There, I swallowed it. And so now he can, in the wink of an eye, the double-sized adventurer becomes Ant-Man and easily swims to freedom through the now limp ropes. I made it. I wonder what happened to Captain America. Well, no time to search for him now. Uh-oh, my ant size is fine for escaping from ropes, but if I don't want to end my days as fish food, I'd better become Giant Man again, and pronto. Oh my, Ant-Man looks like a tasty morsel to this big old catfish. Strange. Now Giant Man is climbing out of the water, and he thinks still no sign of Captain America, nor do I see the Submariner. I wonder. Wait! Over there! Iron Man is battling against heavy odds. Perhaps I can even them just a bit. And so Giant Man enters into the fight, and he picks up two men with his two hands. Says, if all you bully boys enjoy ganging up on one man, try me for size. Hey, I notice you're not whooping it up so much now. Go on back to the depths you came from. We've no quarrel with you. It's that power-mad prince of yours we're after. So he flings them away. Iron Man says, thanks, big fella. I'll handle the few that are left now. You'd better see how Thor's making out. Will do, partner, says Giant Man. But I wonder what happened to Captain America. I haven't seen him since that blast hurled us both into the water. The underwater soldiers say, where is our prince, the mighty Namor? Without him, we are as nothing. He had hurled himself into hand-to-hand battle with the long-haired thunder god. Let us pray that our leader triumphs. And so here comes Giant Man. He's leapfrogging over the soldiers, saying, well, Cap is a big boy now. He can look after himself, but I sure hope he didn't run out on us. So here you are, laughing boy, and he grabs Namor. And Namor says, once I get that accursed hammer away from you, I'll show you who's the strongest, Thor. You use that as an excuse, Sea Prince, says Thor. You know that I alone can lift my enchanted mallet. Meanwhile, a sharp-eyed, colorful figure watches everything that transpires, branding all the amazing details into his memory. And he's thinking, I know so little about this new crop of costumed fighters. My best bet is to watch them in action and see how powerful they really are. Their courage is undeniable. Even the Submariner is a fearless foe. If there had been such men in my day, what epic battles we might have fought. And then as he looks on, Captain America sees Thor's hammer. It's the most awesome weapon I've ever seen. And Namor says, you spoke the truth. Even my more than human power cannot raise your hammer from the ground. Thor says, stand back. Part of its enchantment is that it must always fly back to me. And now, in the name of the Avengers, I order your surrender. Surely you see that further resistance is futile. Never, answers Namor. Even now, my loyal warriors regroup themselves. We shall fight to the last man. Very well, Namor, says Thor. Let whatever befalls be upon your own head, your own inhuman conscience. Step aside, Thor, says Giant Man. I've been itching to tangle with that water rat when he didn't have the advantage of a surprise attack. Stop, says Namor. I still have an ace in the hole. You forget about the boy. He is our prisoner. Nay, he is our hostage. And look, the sea warriors are holding on to Rick Jones. Well, now Captain America sees the lad is in danger. This I will not tolerate. Rick says, don't worry about me, guys. Clobber these goons once and for all. But here comes Captain America. And Namor says, if you make one move towards me, the boy's life is... What? Another one. But who? And Captain America says, the name is Captain America, Namor. I'll make sure that you never forget it. And so he attacks the men who are holding Rick and knocks them away. But here comes Namor. He says, I have tolerated enough indignities this day. Now my vengeance shall be swift and sure and without mercy. And he grabs Captain America, who thinks he's stronger than me, but I'll find a way to outmaneuver him. But at that moment, a thunderous eruption shakes the tiny isle as a deafening roar is heard from beneath the surface. Namor says, the island is breaking apart. And a sea warrior says, look, what are they seeing? Whoom! Before the eyes of all those present, a titanic undersea explosion hurls a towering spray of sea, mud, and stone high into the air. What is it? Back to the depths, says Namor. We have won. The sea itself shall destroy our enemies. Even the Avengers cannot survive a giant undersea earthquake, thinks Namor. Yet for some reason my heart is heavy. They were worthy foes. They deserved a more fitting end. Well, let's look and see if it is the end. Not at all. As he is later to learn, the submariner has acted too hastily, for it is not an undersea earthquake which has occurred. It is merely the below-surface launching of the alien spaceship. And here it comes out of the water, flying off into the air. By the time the strange craft emerges from the deep, Namor and his followers are already out of sight. Not until later will the irony of the situation dawn upon the frustrated sea prince, for the very alien he had hoped would destroy the Avengers has unwittingly rescued them at the crucial moment as his spaceship goes off into space where it belongs. And Iron Man looks up and realizes it's the alien. He's returning to the stars. And Captain America says, the waters have subsided. The island is still intact. But as Iron Man observes, Namor is gone, and so is our chance to defeat him. Easy, lad, says Captain America. It's all over. You're safe now. And Iron Man says, I notice it took a threat to the boy to bring you into action, fella. Though Namor is gone, says Giant Man, I feel we shall meet him again in mortal combat. And I'm sure that's true too. Submariner always pops up. But one of us is still not present, says Giant Man. There she is. I thought you'd never notice, Blue Eyes. I was doing what any girl would do in a moment of crisis, powdering my nose, of course. And she lands on Giant Man's nose. But one thing puzzles me, says Wasp. When I write this down in my diary, do I call it a victory or a defeat? Giant Man says, that's for history to decide, hun. Right now, we have another decision to await. Right, says Iron Man, we have an offer to propose to Captain America. Captain America says, I have seen you in battle, and there are none braver. If your offer is what I hope it is, my answer is yes. Spoken with honor and dignity, like a man, says Thor. Thus, we are privileged to witness a momentous moment in the annals of high adventure. We welcome you, Captain America, to the ranks of the Avengers. And what a momentous occasion this is. Captain America is going to come to define the Avengers. He's going to be the most stable fixture in that team, and he will be the tactical leader for years and decades to come. A colorful, mighty, patriotic adventurer, truly a superhero that we can admire. But there is one whose heart is still heavy, as Rick Jones is still filled with a dread fear as he's thinking of the Hulk. And he's also thinking of Captain America. He's the greatest guy I ever met, and I can tell he wants me to be his partner, but what about the Hulk? He's sure to return someday, and when he finds out that Captain America has replaced him, will anything be able to stop him then? But nothing in life is certain, says the editor, and we must take the good and the bad as fate deals them out. One thing is certain, though, the next issue of the Avengers will have more superheroes, more supervillains, and super thrills, just as you want them. Oh, yes, indeed. The Avengers are always full of thrilling adventures and stories for us to enjoy. Here's a preview of our next Avengers adventure. It's the Avengers against a whole team of supervillains as we meet Zemo and his Masters of Evil. This is a great story, one of my favorites of all time. And so I look forward to telling it to you the next time we get together. All right, y'all, I love you very much. I hope that you've enjoyed this story about the Avengers and Captain America. And so now, Conrad, you know a little bit more of the background of your hero with the shield and the mask of Captain America. Bye-bye, y'all. Talk to you later.